Hey everyone, welcome back to the Loading Bookshelf. Today, we have The Holiness of God by R.C. Sproul. So, let's go take a look at this book. Author. The author is R.C. Sproul. He was born in 1939 in Pittsburgh. He is the founder of Ligonier Ministries, which is an international Christian education ministry located near Orlando, Florida. He was also the founding pastor of St. Andrew's Chapel. Also, he was the first president of the Reformation Bible College and an executive editor of the Table Talk magazine. Also, a general editor of the first edition and complete 2015 revision of the Reformation Study Bible, and has authored over 70 titles. Summary. As Sproul begins with his book, he shares his personal story of how he met God's holiness and how it changed his life forever. Then he exposits Isaiah chapter 6 of how the seraphim cried out, "Holy, holy, holy," and how Isaiah was left in brokenness before God's holiness. However, Isaiah was reconciled with God. Also, Sproul goes on to define God's holiness as transcendental separation, which is one of the reasons why humans fear God. That Christ also shared in this holiness, as Peter realized his sin when being confronted with Christ. In the 5th chapter, he places his emphasis on Luther, who had a great understanding of God's holiness that was revealed through the law. However, Luther found great peace when he met the righteousness of Christ that comes through faith. Then Sproul dives back to explain God's holy justice in Old Testament scriptures that reveal God's wrath. But God was still a God of grace even in the Old Testament. Furthermore, he moves on to those who try to wrestle with God. However, they were left shattered, but at the same time, they came to know true peace with God, such as Job, Jacob, Habakkuk, and Paul. That God's holiness is not just an intellectual grasp, but an understanding that shifts our lives. Lastly, that God's holiness has touched space and time through the appearance of his Son, Jesus Christ. Quotes, "The Bible never says that God is love, 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 or mercy, 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 or wrath, 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 or justice, justice, justice. It does say that he is holy, 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 that the whole earth is full of his glory." Page 25. Jacob, Job, and Habakkuk all declared war on God. They all stormed the battlements of heaven, but they were defeated. Yet, they all came away from the struggle with uplifted souls. Page 143. Takeaways. The first takeaway that I have from this book is that the essence of God's character is his holiness, which all his other attributes pour out. Second, that God's holiness should lead us in reverence and awe and in the fear of the Lord as we approach him in worship and in our daily lives. And lastly, that God's holiness should change the way we live our lives. Why you should read this book? Well, it is important to know who God is. And it's important understanding his main characteristic, or who he is in essence, which is he is holy. And I think that once you grasp the holiness of God, it will change your life, as you will know the maker and creator. So thank you all for watching, and I encourage you to check out and read The Holiness of God, as R.C. Sproul does a wonderful job in laying who God is and explain the most important attribute of God, which is his holiness. Stay tuned for our next video. See you next time.